So this video is definitely going to be considered controversial, I guess. I know that what I'm going to say in this video goes against a lot of popular opinions held about HYBE, but because of the misinformation and straight up lies about HYBE's leaked internal documents I've seen going around, I felt like I should make a video about it. I'm giving this disclaimer even though I know some of you will ignore it, but I am not and have never been a company stan. Anyone who knows my content knows I've always been critical of entertainment companies and K-pop stans who lavish praise onto companies. At the end of the day, I'm sure you all will interpret my words how you want, but don't say I didn't warn you. So unless you've been living under a rock for the past week and a half, you probably know that HYBE's internal documents got leaked. The documents were leaked as a result of a HYBE audit completed by the South Korean National Assembly's Culture, Sports, and Tourism Committee. The documents are reported to be compiled by an executive only known as A former music critic who is currently the editor-in-chief of Weverse's magazine. Unsurprisingly, the leak caused a lot of uproar as the internal documents mentioned several K-pop artists and individual idols, unverified rumors, and opinions on the current happenings within the industry, and the author of the documents did not mince words. What's being ignored by a lot of people, however, is the fact that many of these disparaging comments made about different idols and groups are opinions from around the internet that were compiled into these documents. Opinions of the executive who compiled these documents are also included, but a lot of people have confused the comments collected by Executive A as the opinion of that executive and the opinions of Executive A as the official stance of HYBE. HYBE stated themselves that at worst the document contains the opinions of one HYBE executive, and they do not consider these documents to be their official stance on various idols, groups, and other issues in the K-pop industry. And I'm typically not one to believe companies at face value, but after going over a lot of the documents myself and considering the context, I'm inclined to believe HYBE in this situation. But what I really wanted to talk about today is the fact that these documents have basically become kindling for the fire that is the ire of K-pop stans. K-pop stans have always had a poor opinion of HYBE. The opinion of HYBE amongst K-pop stans is so poor, in fact, that I bet if I said HYBE did 9/11, there are people who would wholeheartedly agree with me. So these documents aren't doing them any favors in terms of their reputation. And as one could predict, there are bits and pieces of these documents that are going absolutely viral that have been taken completely out of context if people aren't just straight up lying about what was said or what was even included in these documents. At face value, these documents are at worst mean-spirited, but a lot of people have taken to claiming these documents reveal some big bad plan by HYBE to ruin K-pop as we know it, which isn't true. So I wanted to go over some examples in which these documents have been misused since people are just using them for their own agendas at this point. Let's start with the first example. A tweet claiming that HYBE admitted that LE SSERAFIM's Eunchae benefited from the departure of Garam made rounds on Twitter. However, if anybody who liked or retweeted this tweet actually bothered to read the excerpt, you would know that that's not what's being said. Let's focus on the part of the document that specifically talks about Eunchae benefiting from Garam's departure. Quote, "While every team has a youngest member, some critics question why Eunchae specifically receives so much affection. As she doesn't have strong vocal or rap positions, detractors label her as Lucky Kim-suk, implying that she gained attention due to the benefit of another member's departure. The popular anti-community Taldok Soo-young-so picked up on this narrative." End quote. Anybody with a modicum of common sense can tell that they're summarizing the opinions of others. These aren't even the opinions of the HYBE employee who created these documents. They're literally just summarizing what other people have said, which aligns with what HYBE said about the documents being collected from around the internet. The next example is the claim that HYBE's leaked documents confirm that TXT's song 0 by 1 Love Song was based on a popular fanfiction about two of the members of TXT. HYBE's internal documents discuss the fanfiction as it's notoriously popular amongst TXT's fanbase, MOAs. People jump to conclusions that this was HYBE confirming that the song was written based on this fanfiction because of quote-unquote proof that suggests HYBE used elements of the fanfiction in the song. However, we know this isn't true because Namjoon is listed as one of the songwriters for 0 by 1 Love Song, and it's highly unlikely that he was inspired to write the song because he read a fanfic about two of his label mates. This is one of the sillier examples, but it shows how these leaked documents can and are being misused. Another example is the rumor that HYBE planned to throw away NewJeans that spread as a result of the leaked documents being interpreted incorrectly. For context, the section that people use to argue that HYBE is planning to kick NewJeans out is talking about three of HYBE's girl groups, LE SSERAFIM, Islet, and NewJeans. In this section, they're discussing how the phrase New Isle Le has become a common way to refer to the trio. The document says the following, Quote, as various communities begin to use HYBE's new Isle to refer to New Jeans, Islet, and Le Sserafim, people begin to mention Islet more. Right now, it might be necessary to tie Le Sserafim to Blackpink, aespa, and IVE into the category of the girl groups as a million sellers in the first week of sales and separate them from the fourth generation. We were plagued by the term new Isle for a few days, but we can just throw new away and start a whole new thing. Now, people have taken this to mean that HYBE intended to throw New Jeans away. I don't understand how anyone came to this conclusion because the context clearly shows that the author is referring to the phrase New Isle. This section talks about how the author wants New Jeans, Le Sserafim, and Islet to be categorized compared to other groups in the industry and are expressing disdain for the term New Isle. The assumption that this statement is revealing HYBE's evil plan to get rid of New Jeans is such a reach. To reach the conclusion that HYBE is planning to throw New Jeans out, you have to ignore basically all of the context and focus on the words throw away, which is what a lot of people have done. There is no implication anywhere in the leaked documents that they're planning to disband New Jeans, and as I've already mentioned, HYBE confirmed that these opinions are not the official stance of HYBE. On top of misrepresenting and exaggerating things said in HYBE's leaked documents, people are now straight up lying about what was part of the leaked documents. Another tweet went viral that claimed that among HYBE's leaked documents was a list of ships between K-pop idols. And it's true that HYBE does talk about fanfiction in their leaked documents, specifically the most popular fanfiction among certain fandoms. However, the list in question was never a part of the leaked documents from HYBE. This list was posted 2 months ago, and it's just a list revealing the top pairings on PostHype, which is basically the Korean version of AO3. No idea how people found that document and assumed it was a leak from HYBE, but it just further proves not to believe everything you see online about these leaked documents because of how inaccurate a lot of it is. I want to reiterate that I'm not saying that the leaked documents are all fake or that there is nothing wrong with the leaked documents. Like I said, a lot of the things in the documents are mean, but I feel like people aren't considering the context in which these documents were made. These are industry reports, meaning that these documents are looking at trends, outlooks, controversies, and industry performance. They're not supposed to be nice, fluffy reports on the groups they see as their competition. These documents are supposed to point out strengths and more specifically weaknesses that other groups have, along with different controversies that have plagued them. And I can understand that some people have an issue with that, and that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to be upset, but it's just the reality of the situation. Also, as I've said a million times already, these documents consist of opinions collected from around the internet, along with the opinions of an executive from HYBE, and do not reflect the official stance of HYBE. Moreover, these documents do not outline or discuss any concrete plans about how HYBE plans to deal with competition or manage their groups, contrary to the claim that HYBE is planning to kick out New Jeans and other claims like it. Additionally, while these documents are mean, they were never meant to be public. It's not like HYBE or the author of these documents was planning to publish a hit piece on all the groups mentioned. These are internal documents, meaning they were never meant for anyone outside of HYBE to see. 100% SM, JYP, YG, and any other company you can think of has the same internal documents hidden away. HYBE was just unlucky enough to have theirs leaked to the public. And to those people in the comments who are going to insist I'm a HYBE stan, blindly defending them from criticism, I'm going to flip that back on you and ask why those of you who have such a hate boner for HYBE have to misrepresent or lie about things that HYBE says and does in order to fit your narrative. A lot of K-pop stans are of the opinion that HYBE is the worst thing to ever happen to K-pop and that they're single-handedly ruining the K-pop industry. As a result, there's this idea amongst K-pop stans that if you point out any discrepancy in their opinion about HYBE, you are a HYBE stan. So anyone who points out clear misinformation or lies being spread about issues relating to HYBE is now a HYBE stan who worships Bang PD, because any evidence that doesn't support the opinion that HYBE is the devil spawn has to be fake. And I'm not saying HYBE is a great company or that there isn't anything to criticize them for. They're a conglomerate, there's always something to criticize them for. I'm just pointing out the fact that K-pop stans are seemingly unable to remove their bias when discussing issues regarding HYBE. Like, these are the same people who will praise SM, JYP, or YG and then talk about how HYBE is ruining K-pop in the same breath. The logic just isn't there. But anyways, that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope I shed some light on the situation for some of you. Please let me know if I missed anything. I tried to be as accurate as possible when making this video, but I'm only human, so I might have gotten something wrong. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!